Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Alex Bell, and this is To the Point. Today, a very packed room. Students at Sacramento State met to tell the administration that they need to take more action after a recent string of sexual assaults on campus. And students say that they are fed up and they are fearing for their safety. Right now, there are 4 reported assaults, but students say that a lot more are going unreported, and they are calling for more surveillance and lighting on campus and increased security in living spaces. I went to that forum today, and in tonight's main point, I spoke with some of those students who are now speaking out.
People are being assaulted while trying to attend class. Someone was recorded in the bathroom. Why is this a continuing issue? Why is campus safety a continuing issue?
I think that we should have better resources because you never know what they could be feeling on the inside.
One thing that I thought was particularly interesting is that you went to with your friend to the Title IX office. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Basically, she wanted to report, her case. And so we went there, and we didn't go there around lunchtime because I was wondering, why is this office so empty? They have a little window on the door. So we look through the window, and it's practically almost like no one's there. And then someone actually finally comes out. I asked him if we could get a hold of someone. And he said, well, have you reported it through a reporting tool? We said, there's a reporting tool. He said, yeah, usually you have to go through this reporting tool kind of thing. And then apparently they review your case, and then you wait for a letter to sort of to see if they're going to do anything about it or something. And we were both shocked, because you would think that there would be some sort of immediate response or some kind of wait list instead of just, trying to relive your case again by typing it all in a form and then waiting for a letter.
So what are you going to do for those students that go through complicated crimes but are not quote-unquote perfect victims? What are you going to do for them? What are you going to do for more people like me?
As an international student, you said, heaven forbid something happened to me.
Yeah.
I don't have my community here. I don't have my family here to really support me. Share a little bit about that.
Okay, so I'm from the Philippines, and when I think of being here in America, I think it's somewhat safer. There's more resources, and being in a campus as nice as this is I wouldn't say unreal, but it's there's so many resources here. So it would lead me to think that, okay, I'm well accommodated here. I don't have to feel unsafe. Plus I live in the dorms. But, seeing the rise of sexual assault happen on campus, not to mention in the same living complex I live in, and by a stranger who should by no means be able to get in there because of the security measures implemented in that dorm, just makes me terrified. I won't be able to get a hold of my family, nor will they able to get a hold of me right away if something did happen. And it concerns me because probably other international students are feeling the same way too, where it's if their security were to be compromised, then what happens?
How do you feel now with all of these incidences happening?
With what's happened on our campus, I feel immensely unsafe. I've been on campus for late nights. I was here for rush events. I was here hanging out with my friends on Cerna Plaza over here, and having to leave and be in the dark with no lighting, and all I have is a can of pepper spray that I hold close to my waist. I shouldn't have to do that. That's the thing. I used to feel very safe. It's my first semester. I should be excited to be on campus late. I should be excited to hang out with my friends in their dorms and we can have sleepovers, but I'm scared of what if the wrong person comes in. It was special that we all got to band together and talk about it. But it's very much an administrative issue. And to think in our own University Union bathroom that some guy was enabled to give access and put his phone under the bathroom stall and to be able to look at them like that, that's not safe at all. My mom and my dad, they wouldn't want to hear me doing that, They don't want to hear that someone's getting sexually assaulted. And I'm their older daughter, and I have a little sister, and she wants to come here. I don't feel safe with her coming on campus because this campus is supposed to be my home. This is going to be my home for the next 4 years. It doesn't feel like home.
Administration officials up there, what are you doing besides being reactive? We have a $6 million plus budget for the police on campus, and crime is still increasing.
Before we move on, I do want to say it was a very emotional day. And I really do think the students that took the time to stand up and speak their voices today and also take the time to speak with us after, we really do appreciate you sharing your stories. And let's not forget that there is still someone believed to be responsible for 2 sexual assaults that is on the loose right now. And just last night, police officially identified the suspect as 31-year-old Nida Mohammed Niazi, also known as Zion. He is not a student at Sacramento State. Today, we also spoke with the president of Sacramento State, Robert Nelson. He told us that it was painful to hear student stories, and he hopes to prevent more sexual assaults from happening in the future and plans to address safety concerns. And one thing that students did suggest during the meeting was having more badge readers on buildings around campuses. But the president didn't exactly agree with that approach.
We have them in the dorms. They make total sense in the dorms. We have them in buildings that are open 24/7. But to take and put badge readers on every building, it would lock out so much of the community. It would not be a public university any longer. We need to increase the safety inside that building, not keep people outside of that building.
Nelson did acknowledge that the university does need to make some changes. He agrees that they should step up patrols at night and have more confidential advocates. And if you're wondering what those are the people that victims can go to if they experience a sexual assault and they don't have to have a police report to talk to them. So Nelson said, quote, "We have heard a lot today. We will do something because of it." Multiple so-called safe stay communities are in the works to get people off the streets of Sacramento County. And after the break, we're looking into why 2 of them are falling behind schedule. Sacramento County's most recent point-in-time count shows that there are more than 9,000 homeless people throughout the county on any given night. And we've been following various solutions proposed by city and county leaders to help them provide more shelter and resources. The latest includes a so-called safe stay community on Watt Avenue out in North Highlands. So the County Board of Supervisors has now approved $23 million to buy the property, including the 130,000 square foot warehouse that sits on it. They're paying for it with money from the federal government allocated through the American Rescue Plan Act. The county plans to build 140 small cabins inside the warehouse and have 50 parking spots for cars and RVs outside. The county says the community will include places to store belongings, space for pets, and the option to live with a partner. Now, that Watt Avenue site is one of 3 safe stay communities Sacramento County has in the works. When they're completed, the county says they'll be able to take a total of about 400 people off the streets. But we've heard concerns from some community members that one of the sites is falling behind schedule. And now 2 of the 3 sites are facing delays. Becca Habegger looked into it.
I'm here in Sacramento County near the intersection of Florin and Power Inn Roads, where some 100 tiny home pallet shelters have been built. It's one of the safe stay communities the county announced over the summer. Initially, these were supposed to be ready to accept people by November, but a county spokesperson says not only will these not be ready by the end of the month, they will not be ready by the end of the year.
That's disappointing news for Andy Schroeder, who will be spending his 10th winter experiencing homelessness.
It's cold out here, and there's a lot of people. There's a great community. A lot of people come out to help and stuff.
He says he'd like to stay in one of the shelters if he can get in.
I wouldn't mind. Yeah, I wouldn't mind being involved with that.
The county says the delay is due to material supply chain issues, contractor delays, and a change in the design of the community, and it might not be ready until late spring. There will be bathrooms and showers on site, but those aren't ready yet. Just down the road, about 2.5 miles west on Florin Road, is the county's other safe stay community. At 7001 East Parkway, this site is supposed to have about 45 pallet cabins housing a max of 56 people. The county initially said this site will likely move on a parallel timeline as the Florin and Power Inn location and will hopefully welcome guests early next year. But the county says because it's on a parallel timeline, this site too will be delayed, likely not opening until the spring. Between the 2 sites, the county says they'll be able to take about 180 people off the streets, but those people will have to face another winter on those streets first.
And we've been telling you, Governor Newsom paused more than $1 billion of state funding for local governments to combat homelessness. He says plans are not aggressive enough. In an LA Times article, the governor referenced one city's goal to keep its unsheltered homeless population from growing by 71%. It turns out he was talking about Sacramento. So Mayor Steinberg responded saying, quote, "The number is based on a time period that is already past and is plainly inaccurate. The city's homeless reduction goal going forward is a minimum of 15% by early 2024. Since 2017, the city and county have helped 17,000 plus unsheltered people find permanent housing. The city has over 1,100 beds in safe spaces every night. We must and will do more." Now, Governor Newsom is holding a meeting with local leaders from across the state tomorrow to discuss how to move forward. Mayor Steinberg's office says the mayor will be in attendance. And a one-of-a-kind fire department is serving a Native American community in Yolo County. And it's now trying to fill what some might call a gap. We'll explain it all after the break. All right, a one-of-a-kind fire department is located right in our own backyard. The Yochadihi Fire Department serves part of Yolo County. They've been on the front lines of wildfires like the massive LNU complex fire in 2020, while also preserving history. The tribe-owned department is now paving a path for young people in the indigenous community they serve to be firefighters themselves. Bantu shares the department's story.
Meet the Yochadihi Fire Department.
We're the only tribally owned fire department in the country.
This team of 33 firefighters and support staff hold a significant honor.
We're a Yochadihi Wintu Nation, and Yocha means a spring coming out of the ground, and Dihi means home. So we're spring home. Hi, my name is James Kinter, Yochadihi Tribal Council Secretary. I'm also the chairman of the Yochadihi Fire Department.
The fire department was established in 2004 by the Yochadihi Wintu Nation.
We're around 100 people right now. So I know it's small, but pre-contact, early 1700s, there was about 50,000. Unfortunately, through the gold rush and through those invasions, we got whittled down quite a bit, and now we're on our way back.
On top of protection and emergency services, the team is equipped to carry out specialty rescues, such as swift water and vehicle extrication. And beyond that, a cultural resource officer guides them through native landmarks and the handling of native artifacts.
It's not only our history, but it's American history. And so we want to protect that for future generations. Just north of here, we have a piece of land, and up there, it's one of our last cemeteries. It's a very bad fire area. We're able to avoid those and to go out there and walk with the folks who are actually doing the dozer lines and be able to avoid those areas.
Guided by Tribal Council and its Fire Commission, they have built a state-of-the-art fire station that protects tribal history, but it serves far beyond the sovereign nation. Covering the Capay Valley of Yolo County, the fire department was the first paramedic-level department serving Yolo County. Many of their medical calls come from Cache Creek Casino, but 40% of their calls are off tribal grounds.
We're not here by ourselves. We have a lot of neighbors around us, and we want to make sure that they're taken care of as well.
The commitment to sharing resources is symbolized by the acorn.
The Utikama, the sharing of an acorn, that it's not just theirs. They want to make sure that they are sharing with the region to make the entire region safer.
Fire Chief Rebecca Ramirez stepped into her role in January 2020. With nearly 30 years in the fire force, breaking glass ceilings along the way. As the first woman firefighter in West Sacramento, Ramirez rose through the ranks to deputy chief and later became the first woman fire chief in Woodland. She says as a young woman, she never saw women in this line of work.
It didn't seem accessible to me, and I kind of pushed my way into it, but I found that it really was accessible. It's just something I didn't know about. So making it really an awareness level in communities that firefighting is for everybody.
Even now, only 10% of the country's fire force are women. Through her own experiences, Ramirez knows there are people they serve who don't see themselves in firefighting.
What I noticed is we don't have any tribal firefighters here.
She, with the Tribal Council and Fire Commission, are paving a path to firefighting for the people they serve.
How do we home grow our own firefighters here? And one of the ways to do that is through a youth academy.
The first Yochadihi Fire Youth Academy launched in 2021.
It's real work. When we have them doing everything from scrubbing toilets to doing training burns to auto extrication, we teach them real job skills.
Continuing diversity in firefighting, she says, will only strengthen the fire force and the communities they serve.
And the Yochadihi Youth Fire Academy ran last year. It will have its second run in June of next year. Looking forward to that. All right, the long-standing Club Pheasant building will now belong to the city of West Sacramento. So last night, the city council approved to spend $3.4 million to buy and preserve the building. It was home to a family restaurant and still holds deep roots in the community. Walt Gray takes us back to a point in time.
Club Pheasant has been an iconic Sacramento area restaurant for 87 years. It started from humble beginnings in the middle of ag land to a place of family gatherings, business get-togethers, and old-style Italian home cooking. Garlic steak sandwich, maybe ravioli, or fried ravioli, and if you can't decide, eat it all. Mama Luisa ruled the menu back in the day. We're talking 1935. What made this place so popular for so long is that the Pomadesi family makes you feel at home. From 1935 until the early 2000s, Club Pheasant was the reason why people crossed the bridge to come to West Sacramento. Then the population exploded out here. What was great is this place never changed. What changed was everything around it.
And we saw a lot of you talking online today asking what exactly the city of West Sacramento has planned for Club Pheasant. So we caught up with Mayor Martha Guerrero to ask what the taxpayer money will be spent on. She says that the city wants to give someone the chance to give the building new life.
We're going to make sure that it is not expensive in an area that is going to be centrally located in the city, so that if there's a business owner that wants to open something up, that it's not going to be too expensive for them to be able to gain an opportunity, an economic opportunity.
West Sacramento City Manager Aaron Laurel says that $3.4 million used to buy the club, it comes from city's community investment fund, and that the building has such a long history of being in the community and a gathering place that it's essentially infrastructure. All right, let's take a look outside at our forecast. Getting a quick check of our Gilmore backyard here. Those cooler temperatures still here. Sacramento at 50, Modesto 52, Tahoe 31. Let's get to the 10-day forecast because don't forget, Thanksgiving right around the corner. Make sure you're doing your shopping, getting ready for all the family to come in. All right, the American Music Awards are just a few days away right here on ABC 10. And this year, singer-songwriter Lionel Richie is receiving the Lifetime Achievement Music Award. Mark S. Allen went out to Elk Grove to meet one of the men behind Richie's music.
That's Janet Jackson jamming in front of a sold-out show of 80,000 people with Derek D.O.A. Allen, one of the most sought-after session and concert guitarists and producers in the industry. He's recorded and toured with Janet, Lionel Richie, and others, signed originally to Michael Jackson's label, has awards and gold records enough to fill the warehouse, pretty much does. I caught up with the McClatchy graduate and my friend in his recording studio in Sacramento.
It's good to see you.
Man, it's great to see you, man. So awesome, man.
I know I said this earlier. I don't think we could get another award in this office.
Well, you know, man, yeah, I didn't get into the business for this. I had small little goals when I wanted to get into business. I had small goals, man. I didn't have big goals. My goals were very, very small. And it just turned out to be gigantic, you know, the blessings. So I'm really blessed and thankful.
So now as you're a creator or producer, experiencing both the executive side and the creation side of it, I met you when you were 17. There's some 17-year-old kid out there right now watching this going, how do I be the next Derek Allen? Someone you may be producing. What advice do you give them?
Work hard. I'm in my studio 7 days a week, you know, working working just as hard as I was when I first came into business. So love the work, do the work, and work hard, and stay committed, true to the work, and don't let anybody, you know, tell you that you can't make it.
Don't let anybody tell you can't make it. Well, except for my producer. He said I can't dance on the end of the show. So we'll see you tomorrow night. Have a good night. Hey, it's Alex. Just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I really love hearing from everyone, and I hope that you'll stay in touch. Reach out to me on Facebook at AlexBellTV, or you can email me at tothepoint@abc10.com, or you can even send me a text message at 916-321-3310.